Hello, there we are. We are on. So, hello, everybody. Uh, Good to be back. I had a nice break nice little travel break last Wednesday, but we're back today, and we'll see where today takes us. Always a journey. Hey, Cherie joined on the other side there. Very good. Yeah, do stop by and say hello in the chat if you're on Facebook or YouTube. Uh, with Facebook, uh, I'm considering getting off Facebook just because I hardly go on Facebook, and uh, I, I most people seem to be coming in on YouTube anyway. So, um, if you have thoughts on that, if you would prefer us to stay on Facebook, then let us know. But I'm looking at December just being completely on YouTube and Instagram only. I think it's just easier for people, for one, and for me. But so hello. So let's just take some nice breaths and really just focusing on your breath as you bring it in. Even pulling your shoulders up a little bit, tensing everything up on the in breath, holding that, and then just releasing everything on the out breath with a really fast breath, just to change it up a little bit, just to kind of loosen up those shoulders, kind of tend to pull everything up in our day. And so just to shift things, get out of that stuck place inside. So let's see, let's just kind of feel your body. Just be aware of your head. Feel yourself inside your head, not out here, but in here. And kind of like pull yourself in, like you're really feeling yourself inside this skin, the bones, because we got a nice skull there right on top of right below the skin. Really coming in. Hey, Asta, welcome. So we're just starting, just bringing ourselves into the head here. Take a deep breath and just shake it all out, and then jump right in with us. And you'll probably notice that it's like you feel like you just kind of feel yourself shifting in when you really kind of focus in on just really feeling yourself underneath, behind this skin here. And kind of shifting out of your environment into yourself, if you're doing that. So it's really good. If you notice that feeling of pulling in, it's really good to take a minute or two in the middle of anything, in between things. You're walking down the stairs, rushing out the door, just stop yourself in a minute from the stairs and just pull yourself back in. And coming down into the neck. See if you can do the head and the neck together, just being aware of being inside again. And when you do that, you'll probably notice that your environment kind of looks different. Like the stuff around you somehow looks a little different, almost like a little clearer, maybe even more distinct. Feeling your neck. Notice the front, the sides, the back of your neck. And like if you're focusing on the back of your neck, just pay attention to how you're tuning into that. Are you just feeling the back, the vertebrae, the skin, the muscles back there? Or do you have a sense of almost like you're kind of outside of yourself and looking at yourself? You might feel just a very slight shift um, from feeling like you're looking outside and then pulling more in yourself and then feeling it instead of that kind of looking at perception. We're going to spend a little bit more time here in the throat because that has to do with expression, of course. And that is one of those areas where people can gather up a lot of other frequencies, other energies in this area. So really come into that. Notice also this underneath part, underneath your chin. You know, we kind of like face and then throat. There's this part in between. If you don't have a double chin yet, you know, the more you do that, bringing your awareness into that, the less likely you will be to have a double chin, because that's something like that is from having those frequencies of other people that are taking in that space and kind of I guess you could say kind of loosening up all that skin as you get older. It loses that definition because it's not you. You lose your definition. Teenage. Oh gosh, I wish I could. I know who you are. Hi, good to see you. Good to have you join us. So really coming into to your throat, you know, and you can even touch it. Put your hands on your throat and really have that tactile feeling. You know, feel the warmth. Feel yourself really come in. Shift some stuff that's coming up here. People might have some thyroid imbalances. So we won't call them issues, but just imbalances. They can be just energetic imbalances. And as soon as you kind of come back into this area more, then that can just straighten out. You know, it's really important to know if you are sensitive at that energetic level or to what degree, because if you are sensitive at that energetic level and then you're, let's say you have some kind of thyroid imbalance that's showing up in various ways, and you are at that level of energetic sensitivity to your body, and you try to take care of that with supplements, you might not get the impact that you want with the supplements, because it's the energetics that has to shift, and the supplements don't necessarily shift that. They work at a more physical level, depending on what you're taking. But and so knowing that about yourself, being aware of that, and if you're not sure, then just kind of tune into that. Notice if you're getting results with something or not. You know, if you're taking like ginger for digestion and you're not getting results, then well, maybe it's because you're not approaching the problem at the correct level. So if you're taking ginger for digestion, it might be that you're dealing more with and not getting that impact on the digestion. Might be that, well, okay, let's go a little deeper. Let's go to the energetics. Okay. So really come into that front part. Again, kind of touch your throat here, and that little notch here above, and just put your fingers there and feel those fingers, and really, again, pull yourself back and pull yourself down into your neck. Also the back and the spine, there's some stuck energies back there. That's if there's control issues, that's going to be a really big area where that's going to show up is in that neck and the spine. If you have tight neck, if you have just stiff neck, just a lot of neck issues, you take a look at the control issues and control patterns. And so how are you controlling situations? How are situations controlling you? Situations or people? And control, so it can show up in a positive sense. So in positive sense, meaning that you're being really nice to other people. And what is the reason for being really nice with other people? Is it so that you can make sure that they respond to you in a certain way? That's a control pattern. That's keeping you from just expressing yourself. So we're here in the throat talking about expression and just having that open, free expression of you come forth. You're monitoring. It's like, okay, how is that person going to react? Okay, let me be nice. Let me be smiley so that I can make sure I have a good response. Okay, I can feel safe, so I can whatever. Notice that, because that is a control pattern. So it can also go in the negative. And I bring up that kind of positive side because we tend to always like, okay, getting controlled, you're like holding you're like smacking somebody, you're pushing them up against the wall, even, or energetically, or with your words. And that's kind of another example of good control. But we usually kind of like, oh yeah, being nice, yeah, making sure they have all their needs taken care of, that you do that all so that they will be obliged to you, they will be kind to you, all that kind of stuff. So taking a look at the reasons you are doing something. What is the reason? What is the real motivation that's inside? So in the back of that neck, shifting that, really breathing into that neck. This is a good piece to really focus on. Yeah, there's a lot of other people's frequencies that are shifting out for people. So getting them to back off as you breathe into your neck and really fill up that neck space with you. And getting pressured by somebody to do something, that's a form of control coming from the external. Somehow that feels like that's maybe a little bit of a work situation for somebody. Anytime we make, or somebody says something, and there's a feeling of guilt or shame, or that's a form of control. So really breathing into that neck, yeah, getting some good clearing out of the neck of these riffraff energies, frequencies, as I call them. And frequencies you don't need to have in there. And for one reason or another, you let them come in, whether it's habit, whether it's not knowing any better. That's me right now. Oh, Cherie. Yes. So the thing to do here for Cherie, because you're in a work situation, maybe you've got, a supervisor, and that's kind of their job, and you've accepted that position of having somebody tell you what you need to do. That gets into the dynamics of work, is just hear out what they're saying, just center yourself, and then make that a conscious choice that you're making for yourself. It's like, it doesn't matter what they said, it doesn't matter, that it's your job. It's like, okay, I'm choosing to do this right now. It's me that's choosing to do this. Yeah, there's this request from the external source for you to do something, but it's still just saying that to yourself is a way to like kind of take back kind of more power for yourself. Because you in saying that, it seems kind of like really benign. It seems like, well, God, how does that do that? But saying that is a way of making it your choice. and say, no, I'm the one who's choosing to that. It's affirming that you are choosing to do that. Whether you like it or not, that's another issue, you know? So that's one for everybody here. Yeah, and I see that. So yeah, that's lighting up an interesting area for you, Shri, because that's, you know, you could assume that that would light up your solar plexus, but that's actually lighting up your lower abdomen. So we're talking about that's probably a common component to relationships. You know, so take a look at that for yourself. Get my wool sweater on, so get a little warm here with the energy flow. So take a look at that with relationships. I find that for everybody, of, you know, look at the dynamics in your relationships, and if that control or lack of choice, so we'll get more specific here, lack of choice, where you're being not making what you, if what you do in relationships or around other people, whether they're work or personal relationships, if you have other people making choices for you or kind of imposing choices on you, take a look at that. And maybe in some situation feels like, okay, there's no way around that, you know, like maybe caretaking for somebody who's sick. Just, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what that situation looks like on the outside. If you come into yourself, connecting with yourself and saying, this is my choice. I'm the one who's deciding to do this. End of story. You know, and feel how that helps you kind of strengthen that sense of self for yourself, so that you stay strong regardless of what you're doing. You know, because it's not about what we do, it's how we do it and the reasons for doing it. You know, and the more you can come from a strong place of making it your own decision, the better it is. Even if you feel like you are stuck in this place of having to, that will make you stronger. Yeah. So, and so really kind of staying in throat, coming into, let's have people really feel the back of their throat. So again, if you want to touch your muscles, you know, like either side of the spine, notice the spine of the bumps with the vertebrae, feel those muscles, you know, even squeeze them, and coming into that neck and really breathing into that neck. Let's open that up for people more. Because there's also a lot on the back that's shown up today. Either when you take responsibility for other people, or responsibility for other people, even if you are in a position of having people below you, your responsibility is for yourself and doing the job that you're there to do. You can tell other people to do, but it's their responsibility to do their job. So even if you're saying, okay, you need to, let's say I'm the supervisor, and tell, you know, one of the people that I'm in charge of, saying, okay, you need to go clean that room. It's like, that's where your responsibility ends. Now, what job that they do, how well they clean up that room, that's their responsibility. So even as you manage people, you can't, not to put it on your back to say, oh God, you know, they did a terrible job, that's my fault. It's like, you told them what to do. You know, they're not 4 years old anymore. It's time for them to take responsibility, and then kind of thing. So a lot of that is kind of attitude for yourself, and understanding clearly that clear delineation for yourself. You know. Yeah. So that's helping kind of open things up for people. A lot of nice kind of clearing out. We're clearing out a lot of people, people energy, that people we've allowed to come in to us, and maybe not us, but just kind of pressing on. So really moving that away from people. Some people have some dead folks around. So what I mean by that is people who have like transitioned that are kind of hanging around you. I think Asta, I think that's you. Maybe some other people on the call too, but that's kind of popping up. I'm calling on people because I also see their names, so I can double check. And if you're on and you want me to double check you with things that come up, let me know you're there. I'm going to say Tine. You know who you are. I feel like there's also, you've got a little bit of that for you too. Maybe like a grandma or something with that, a person with that kind of a feel. Maybe some loss around that, some loss of connection, loss of not having the person around, kind of feeling. So there we go. Oh, nice. Okay, that helped to release some people who are kind of stuck in place. Some of our dead folks, dead friends here who were just kind of stuck in place. Shifted up. So very nice. Yeah. Kind of sometimes we just need a little recognition and then acknowledgement, and then that's sometimes that's all that's needed. People are kind of hanging out just waiting for that acknowledgement, to be seen, to be recognized in some way, even if it's not, even if it's like by me who doesn't know the person. It's like, oh, okay, somebody has seen me. Okay, good. I'm good. Kind of feeling. Okay, let's see. Okay, still working on the neck, but what I want you all to shift, putting your awareness on, is just imagine there's like this channel of light right down the center of your being. And just imagine it or feel it or sense it. And breathe into that. You can imagine your breath going up and down if you want, or just breathing and feeling it. So working on the upper shoulders for people. So the shoulders kind of really show up like kind of carrying the burden, or carrying a burden. Could be family burden. So let's just put all of those aside. You can pick it back up when you leave if you want. Right now, we're just going to put it all aside. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're going to take it into a little bit deeper space here. Just coming into that deeper, pure state of being. Taking a deep breath in, if you wish, now, and holding it at the top for as long as you wish, and then just exhaling out. little bit of judgment, self-judgment coming through. Like, God, I could be doing this so much better. I could be doing so much better for myself. Just take a breath into that one. Just be aware of it. We can always be at a better place for ourselves. It's not about doing not well. It's simply we're always advancing. We're always growing into more. As long as you keep kind of focusing on doing that for yourself, that's always there. So always moving into more, into better. So we can always be doing better for ourselves. So taking that negative aspect of that statement out and acknowledging that in this moment, you've gotten to a place where you're doing the best possible. You're aware that there's more you can do. Great, because use that to take you forward. Taking another nice deep breath in, holding it at the top for as long as you wish, and then exhaling it out quickly or slowly, all the way out. And let yourself feel that kind of stillness and that calm that we've come into in the space. Allowing yourself to feel the expansion that's happening for you, just kind of expanding out more, not being so tightly, not feeling so confined. Even just energetically, letting yourself feel that as it happens. One important thing that you can do for yourself always is be absolutely honest with yourself about where you're at in the moment. When you acknowledge where you're at in the moment very clearly, not avoiding anything. If you feel like shit, just say, I feel like shit. Plain and simple. Let yourself go into that. What you're frustrated about, what you're angry about, Because when you are clear about where you're at, then you can decide where you want to go, where to direct yourself. And even if it's 5 steps ahead from where you are now, even if it's not very far, it's still moving you forward. And it's better to take 5 little steps than kind of like, oh, I'm like fantastic, I'm doing great, I'm going to expand. It's like, feel that abundance, feel that relationship that I'm not in, that I want to have. And try to jump like 2 lifetimes ahead. When you do that, you're going to be pulling yourself further back than where you are to begin with. It's kind of that rubber band effect. You're stretching that rubber band out, go boom, and it pulls you back past that point we're at. So start, and it's not to not go into like feeling what it feels like to be in that relationship or in that job or in that abundance that you want. But first, start with where you're at. Be really clear, really honest for yourself. You know, I'm not expressing myself as clearly as I'd like to. I'm feeling pressured to perform, and I don't like that. You know, when you say things like that, then then it's like, okay, what can I do? I don't feel like and going with that, I don't feel like I can change that situation, because it's like maybe, you know, the obvious one might be, okay, just leave the job, but maybe that's not really it doesn't feel like a viable option in the moment. And it's like, what can I do to own my power even more, to connect and be in my own being and have my own power, regardless of that external piece, you know? So a little tiny thing, like in that moment, say, no, this is my choice. I'm the one who's deciding this for myself, can be a very, very powerful thing for you to do and to say. Because so what happens, so I'm going to go into this a little bit more. And it's because there's a little bit of that, well, how does that work? Even if you're not saying anything to that person. Energetically, when you say, this is my choice, you know, and I invite anybody that's on the call listening to this right now, just kind of think of a situation that you feel like you have to go through, and you don't feel like you have a choice. Okay, look at that situation, whatever it is. And right now, say to yourself, I'm choosing to be here. I'm choosing to be in this situation. No matter how much you don't like it, doesn't matter. Just make that your choice. This is my choice to be here. And feel how that shifts you from going to, no, this is my choice. I don't like it, but this is my choice to be here. That kind of takes you into the next thing. It's like, damn it, I'm going to make the best of it for myself, and I'm going to use this for me to move myself forward. So even if that's all happening inside of you internally, all of a sudden there's that expansion that happens. And whether people are conscious of it or not, they will be aware of it at that deeper level. But even if that subconscious level, it's going to impact them. You can't have something go like this and everything else around it not. You know, like if you, you know, it's like you have a glass of water. And so making that, this is my choice. It's like, you know, imagine kind of dropping, let's see if I can get a better analogy. Okay, this is going to be kind of a weird image, but this is what's coming up. So imagine like a bowl of water. Let's make it a little larger. And you have a deflated balloon that you drop into the water. You know, this is sort of deflated. That's where you are when you're like, yeah, I hate this situation. Okay. Now, if you take that balloon, leave it in the water, but take that in and blow it up so that balloon expands, which is what you do for yourself when you go, this is my choice to be here. And I'm going to make the best of it for myself, to move myself forward within me, within who I am. It's like blowing up that balloon. All the water around it, that's impacting the water. Now it's pushing that water that's around that balloon. That balloon is taking up more space, and that water's got to get out of the way. So same thing. That makes so much sense. This is exactly what I need. I have to go to work. Oh, yes. Okay. But even though I don't want to, it's my choice. Yes. Thank you. And then going beyond, like I said, for everybody, that situation, just going beyond that and saying, okay, this is my choice to do this, and I'm going to use this situation to propel me forward, to strengthen me, to make me so strong, nothing impacts me. Nothing can push me. Really good. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of stories. It reminds me, okay, I'll share this little story because it's right along the lines of this. But when I was working on boats, this was the last boat I worked on. Really, really tough situation. And when you live on, it's a small private yacht. When you live on it, there's like no space. You're 24/7. You're with whoever you're working with, whoever's on there. And this was the captain, who was fantastic captain, really knowledgeable, but a total asshole, simply because he had no clue as to how to manage people. Absolutely no clue. And all his familial patterns were coming up. But anyway, so it was a very tough situation. And I was just like, what am I going to do? And my brother sends me this email, just, of course, say the right thing that's going to, like, oh, God, okay. Something, and what did he say in his email? Was something along the lines, it's like, yeah, I don't know if it was Buddhist monks. I think Buddhist monks, just like being in the situation where in jail or whatever, and using that to go more deeply into that deeper connection, and using that opposition to disconnect from that having a negative impact. So that was helpful for me back then. It's like, okay, let's make use of this situation. Let's help that to make me stronger so that I'm not impacted by that. Because you can get to that place, because it's all about what's inside of you. So very good session. So take a nice deep breath in wherever you are. Feel that lightness of being that is there, that is your being, that is who you are. Feeling that peace within when you make that choice for yourself, whatever the choice is, how powerful that is for you. Yeah, I'm finding that peace. Very good. Very nice job, everybody. And might have felt more geared towards somebody in particular, but I think all of this always applies to all of us, and maybe to varying degrees or to one situation or another. So thank you all for stopping in, because, whoever shows up contributes themselves by being present and plays a part, even if it's not conscious or vocal or but energetically. You all participate, you all join in, you all make the space what it is for today. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you too, Asta, and you're very welcome. So next Wednesday we'll be back. Happy Thanksgiving for whoever's in the U.S. or whoever's celebrating it if you're out of the U.S. And next week will be the last of November. So starting December again. Let me put up my little QR code too. If you feel like sending a little value donation our way, there's the code. For YouTube, sorry, Instagram. I think Instagram, you can go to the webpage for Coming Into Being, and there's a place there. And you're welcome, Dean Dave. Thank you for joining in. So moving off of Facebook, and just being on YouTube and Instagram starting December. If you have any thoughts against that, feel free to get it. Send me a little message. So, okay, everybody, take care. Good to see everybody. And next Wednesday, if you feel like hopping in for another ride into the being state, take care, everybody.